The penalty box. You don't want to be there, but you are because someone is telling you broke the rules. Someone is a referee giving up their time. Dan Boerma was exactly that. Dan Boerma was a guy who will tell you he was a doer. Created the first girls hockey here in the Port Coquitlam area. Made sure Old Timers Hockey League was going, one of the first in Western Canada. If he saw a problem, he solved it. And that is why Dan is going into the Port Coquitlam Sports Hall of Fame.
Biggest thing is the camaraderie. It's just like today, and then I started playing hockey with guys that I played fastball against, and that, so we knew each other from Toloski Stadium and places in Burnaby, and that, and then those carried on. To the point, and now a lot of my golfing friends are all my ex hockey friends and baseball friends.
It's relationships
So the relationships keep on going no matter what age you are.
You couldn't say girls hockey back in the 70s, could you? Like it didn't exist.
Well, no, we were the first league in Western Canada.
Why did you decide to go, we need this?
Well, number one, my daughter wanted to play hockey, and there was nowhere for her to play. And the boys were playing at that time, because I was coaching minor hockey at the time. And even the Adams would run at each other rather than check each other. So the girls came up with a much better system. They actually learned how to stick handle and do the things that were needed, and that, whereas the boys were more intent on pounding each other.
Yeah, need to be physical. But you even said like courts were involved to get girls to play, right?
Yep.
And that was just to fight up against hockey, to say, hey, we need to let girls play this game and not against the physical boys. Was that the battle?
That's right. And you know, that went on for many years, where it took a court case to get minor hockey to allow them to play girls on their team.
What do you think of when you see now, you know, the Haley Wickenheisers of the world, our women's national team as recognizable almost as some of the men, and to see here in Poco and the Tri-City areas, to see how many teams there are at every level? I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing that, you know what, you had in the 70s used that station wagon and get kids to play and kind of started this whole thing?
It makes me feel wonderful. The hardest thing at that time was getting referees. Nobody wanted to referee girls hockey.
Just because it's the girls, it's not real hockey, probably.
That's right.
They thought. Is it easy to change people's mind?
I think it was, because you know, things have all developed now, and that's all. Girls ice hockey is adamant, as you say, the Wickenhausers and you know, some of the teams. It's especially it's gratifying to my daughter.
Well, it must be. I mean, for your family, for you to be a big part of starting that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a referee for a long time, right?
Oh yes, I've been refereeing. I was a referee for many benefit games, the Humboldt Broncos, and also for the Canuck alumni. And
What do you love about that? What did you love about refereeing and being a part of that, of hockey in that sense? Because as you said, you coached.
I think I enjoyed refereeing most because you got, if you did a good job, you did a good job, and that was quite an accomplishment. You didn't gauge it by how many guys called your names during the game, but
They did probably though, did they?
yes.
And when you did a good job, were there at least some nice guys to say, "Nice job, ref," at the end of the game?
Very rarely.
That never changes.
But the last several years, I did get that.
Yeah.
Thank yous and stuff for doing it.
What was the reason where you started to go, hey, we need some old timers hockey in Poco?
In fact, I just stopped playing when the pandemic took over.
Good for you.
So I played 48 years on the same team. And you didn't have to be very good. And I was a better referee than a player. So that's when they got me into refereeing in the league. So I refereed in the league for maybe a dozen years. But again, I wanted too many changes, so then I did timekeeping for a few years, and they asked me to be the president. So when they did, I changed a lot of things over to CARA, which is Canadian Adult Recreation Hockey Association.
Yeah.
Because I've refereed for them across Canada, Quebec City, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary.
So did that change kind of the competitiveness of the league and just make it almost more recreational, enjoyable? Is that kind of what you did with the league?
No, it's actually, he gave us better rules to follow by. And that the Constitution for the Monday Night League had been written up by some of those that didn't know the legal parts of the game. And so I rewrote the Constitution, and we came up with the one that it is today.
I guess the question to me is, I won't even guess how much time you've spent inside rinks. Whether you were refereeing, whether you were playing or coaching. I mean, you laugh. Would you not want to guess how many years?
I laugh because I'm looking at my wife.
Yes. Well, good for you that she's been a part of all that. What was the joy you found? Did you find second families in all these teams and everything you did?
No, not really. I did with coaching.
Yeah.
I did with some of the organizations that I was working on, because it was the same people helping you in baseball, lacrosse, hockey, and soccer, and that. So I was umpire-in-chief for quite a few years for minor baseball. Yeah. And I was equipment manager for minor hockey for a few years. And that gave me a chance to meet all of these different people that were doers.
Yeah.
And when you find doers, you find a direction for them to do it. And I think that's where I was lucky.
Well, you need the doers, and I think a lot of the times the doers don't get thanked. So this is so well deserved for this city to understand that you were a part of getting the girls in. You were a guy who made sure this is what old timers hockey is. So on behalf of everybody at Port Coquitlam, congratulations of going into their Hall of Fame. It's well deserved.
Thank you. I have had my pleasure out of it tenfold.